The following podcast is presented by Secret Room Multimedia.
You're listening to Fair Point. I'm Craig Lewis.
I'm Nathan Capisser. This is so awesome. With us today, we have two gentlemen honoring us with their presence, Mr. David Flora, Mr. Dave Stecco. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, this is awesome.
If you're not familiar, they run a podcast called Blurry Photos. They're two men who are much better at their jobs than we are.
No, that's not true. I mean, for the interest of people coming to the podcast, yes, it's true.
It's very true.
But they'll figure out quickly that you guys are running a tighter ship.
I think we'll let the people be the judge of that one.
Yeah, our ship's falling apart at the seams at any given minute. But
But I love the color.
So, how long have you guys been friends? Or, I actually guess I'm assuming that you are friends.
Wow, I guess 4 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Just two Daves upped and decided to do a podcast?
Yeah, we both were in Chicago's kind of improv scene. And I used to be on a team with Flora's girlfriend, actually.
Sounds spicy.
And we just kind of met here and there, and then we were on an improv team together called Damascus Steel for a number of years.
We started actually doing a podcast with Damascus Steel, which was a lot of fun. But I think we all just kind of got busy with life.
Right.
which happens.
That always happens.
Capital L. In that podcast, this is Flora talking, by the way, if your listeners don't know.
I guess that should be clear. I'm Dave Stecco.
But in that podcast, I would throw up a segment each episode where I got out there.
I'm sorry. Can you
explain
I feel like
out
that's
there?
Somewhat vague.
Yeah,
Well,
you have
you
to
know what?
narrow that down.
Because the topic was pretty vague itself. So,
Fortunately, Flora had a section of our podcast that we've turned into the totality of our current podcast,
Right.
Blurry Photos. It was just
Okay.
things of the bizarre, of the unknown, or just something he thought that was interesting of the occultish nature. And we would, we were all comedians, so we would all just, ham it up and joke about it. And then once Damascus Steel broke up, Flora had the idea he's like, hey, do you want to do a podcast again? That was fun to do.
yeah.
What if we just did the whole podcast and talked about weird stuff?
That was about a year ago.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you have any names that didn't make it that Blurry Photos beat out?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
we did.
Yeah, we had a huge list.
We threw a bunch of stuff at the wall, most of it literal feces.
Yeah.
Like 3 a.m. thoughts or something like that.
Yeah.
That's not the exact, but it's something along those lines.
Chilling with Squatch got cut out. Huh?
Yeah,
Real quick.
I think one of them was something about like disreputable science, or
Yeah.
man, there was some that I was really enjoying too. And now that you've asked me, of course, it's like asking somebody, like, oh, who sings that song, and you know it until they ask.
Right.
I like Blurry
But-
Photos though. It's iconic. It's rolls off the tongue. It's already got its own those two words mean something now.
Yeah, it works out. It works out well. Like we're pretty happy with it. We were glad that there's nothing else on iTunes with that name.
Right.
That was a nice bonus.
But we are mad at the dude in San Francisco or wherever that is an actual photographer who owns blurryphotos.com.
Yeah.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yes, you're undercutting your own business, man.
Yeah, dude.
These guys, of course, we should have let in with this. If you're interested in hearing their podcast, you can find them at blurryphotos.org. You can, of course, also find them on iTunes. Flora, I see in your bio that you're a filmmaker.
Yeah.
I was really interested in that. I'd love to hear about some of the work that you've done, or that if you have something you're working on, or whatever you can tell us about that.
Oh, sure. So I've kind of taught myself guerrilla filmmaking. I didn't go to school for it or anything like that. I just got a camera, got Final Cut, and then, got YouTube and learned how to put together videos and stuff. And me and some of my friends from the comedy scene here in Chicago would get together and write up sketches, and then we would film them. So basically what I've been doing for the past few years is putting up sketch comedy videos on YouTube, and that's under the channel Cornman Production. And so we have a couple series on there, and then we've mostly got just a bunch of, short, silly videos. We haven't done anything in a while, but we're just kind of writing scripts and trying to find time to scrape together to do more, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
We know exactly what you mean.
So you hear that out there? Go to, what was it?
Cornman, that's all one word, Productions.
Cornman Productions.
By way of explanation, Cornman is his dog's favorite toy.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like
okay.
a chew toy. It's like a little man.
Sure. Yeah.
Is he an ear of corn with a face?
Yeah, it is. Well,
Yeah.
and legs and arms.
Is that a cryptid of some sort?
It should be.
Should be, yeah.
The celery stalks at midnight.
Nebraska's
The legend of
scariest-
Cornman.
Omaha, city under siege.
Stecco,
Corn,
I see in your bio that you're 34% robot.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's pretty badass.
I'll tell you, I always have a hard time with bios. I always feel awkward putting down real information in a bio. Like it's not like some request for privacy. As a matter of fact, David Flora directed a show that I was in about a year and a half ago, and
It was. Tell them what it was.
yeah,
They'll
it
enjoy
was.
this.
Yeah, you guys will love this. It was a friend of ours from our improv group wrote a musical called Yo Joe, a Real American Hip Hop Musical.
Okay.
And so it was a G.I. Joe rapping musical.
Oh my god.
One of the stage manager got really upset with me because I just never, when it comes time to bio, I never want to write like David Stecco studied the following at Colorado State. It always makes me feel like weird. So I just like, oh, Dave Stecco wrestles badgers in his free time when he's not curing, monkey psychosis.
Those are some good
she
hobbies.
got in my face about it. She was like, I'm really disappointed that you're not taking this seriously. I'm like, it's a G.I. Joe rapping musical. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great show and it was a ton of fun. But yeah, I get in trouble for that. So I apologize that maybe my bio is not the most enlightening.
Actually,
thing.
no, your bio made we laughed. We giggled over it. It's pretty awesome. And I do have to say that I've always wanted to be a filmmaker, but my desire to be partially robot predates my desire to be a filmmaker by a good few years. So,
You know what? Go with that.
If the option to have like an iPod installed in me ever popped up, which it will in my lifetime, sign me up. I'll do it. But in interest of some genuine information, I did go to Colorado State University, which is home of Ram Pride in beautiful Fort Collins, Colorado. I got my degree in entomology.
you got your degree in theology?
Entomology,
Oh,
insects,
okay.
bugs.
Gotcha.
You're a bug man.
I'm a bug man. I love insects.
That's pretty awesome.
Because they're tiny robots.
Robot
And then
pride.
I moved to Chicago to do comedy. That's my thing.
So, do you do stand-up comedy?
I do occasionally, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Which is difficult. You would think that just getting on stage and making it up would be harder, but that's your safety net. That you're like, I don't know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But like when you sit at home and write, your 5-minute open mic set, and you're like, no, I really tried here. So if this isn't funny, I genuinely fucked it up. I've got a video. It's a sketch that was done at Second City that one of the writers put up for a thing called Beef Soy, where I played a cantankerous Texas beef baron of sorts.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't. I'm briefly in one or two of David Flora's fine creations, but I don't really have a lot of stuff online, and it's certainly nothing that I ever put up.
You know what's funny though? We keep talking about doing videos from some of the characters and ideas that we come up with on the podcast. So we're going to seriously write down some of these in like commercial form, or just like 30-second to a minute long little hits, and put them up on the Blurry Photos YouTube page.
That
awesome.
is fucking awesome.
I gotta say, one of my favorite characters is the Scottish guys.
We got a lot of mileage out of that on stage as well.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I love it. You guys, the voices are great. Where did this whole, when did the whole interest in the paranormal and the unexplained and all this, when did that start? What was the genesis of that?
I'll tell you, for me, in particular, it's always been a part of what I have enjoyed back through middle school, when I would get like Greek mythology books and stuff like that, and I would just read those, and something about them really fascinated me. I had these toys, which I've mentioned on our podcast, a couple of the monsters in my pocket.
Yes,
those things. I love them.
Me too.
And,
me too. I still have a whole bunch of them sitting in a bucket. I fucking loved those things. I was going to ask you guys about those.
I've told my parents to go through boxes and see if they can find more, because I only found a few the last time I was home.
I'd like to imagine that there was some sort of like just screaming, "This isn't all of them, Mom!
Where's my T-Rex when it was worth 25 coins?"
You better not have sold it at a yard sale, so help me God.
Did you ever have the mountain display case?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted it so bad. I didn't have it though.
There was Mount Pocketmore.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the Darth Vader head, except not Darth Vader or a head. So I guess it wasn't like the Darth Vader head, but
So close.
It was a head that was just like Vader's shoulders.
I actually did have that. And I'm very upset that I have no idea whatsoever happened to that. It's just gone.
It's the same thing that happened to every kid. Like, you're off at college or elsewhere, and your mom just sees it in the garage. She's like, fuck this stuff. He's never going to know. And by the time he knows, it'll be way too late.
Yeah.
I think that's where all toys evaporate, too.
A Darth Vader collector's case from 1978? That's not going to be worth anything, no.
Yeah, get rid of it. That's stupid. I'll pick this thing up for the last damn time.
Getting back to where this interest comes from, it's a lot of that stuff, just a fascination with it. And at my last job, I got to listen to podcasts and stuff like that, and I found Mysterious Universe, which is a fun podcast.
Yeah, some fine Australian gentlemen.
They talk about all kinds of weird paranormal stuff, cryptids and conspiracies and all that junk, and it just sort of kept stoking the fire. How all good gumbos do, the more ingredients you throw in, it just kind of steeped, last year, until I was like, fine, it's time to eat this.
Serve it up.
Serve it. So that's where I came from with it.
I have always just been fascinated by just the weird stuff. Like, I really enjoyed, like, all the shows growing up about aliens and those things. When I was a kid, they used to scare me to death, like Unexplained Mysteries and stuff.
Yep, yeah. I came from the same place. I loved watching them, and I would be frightened. I would hope I'd get abducted by aliens, and I would be horrified of it at the same time.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, they had those, like the Scholastic book things. When you're a kid, you get to like order the books.
Yeah, like the book fair.
Yeah, and it seems like the books showed up like 5 years later, but it was probably like 2 weeks. Like 3 weeks later they show up, and you're like, I don't even remember this. I got this book called America's Favorite Monsters, and it had a thing about the Mothman, and I remember just thinking, and because in the story, I remember this so clearly. It talked about the appearance where the Mothman, these people are watching TV, and they look, and the Mothman's just looking in their window, and they all run out the back door to get away from it. And even as a child, I was like 8 years old, I was like, are you kidding? Now you're in Mothman's world. You were in your home.
I remember being similarly like mind equals blown over learning about the Mothman story and everything. Obviously, the first ones you hear about are Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster, and then
the mainstream media's dandies. You mean?
I seem to sense you guys have a grudge against these so-called A-list cryptids.
That's right. We hate the A-listers.
You're cryptid snobs.
That's right. We're cryptid tipsters. It's gratifying to work territory that the Discovery Channel hasn't humped into oblivion.
Yeah, and may I say, with a tiny degree, a bit more of integrity.
Boy, that's going to be tough to prove in a court of law, but I thank you, sir. But yeah, that's our thing. That's why we do it, and it's always interesting. It's always fun, and we always try to find things that maybe you've heard a little bit about, but have always kind of wondered, but not had the time to hear more about. Maybe you wanted to hear that information in a Scottish accent, or you're talking Russians for an hour. I don't know.
We have time, right? Let's redo that real quick. The whole thing. Just start from the beginning.
You're listening to Fair Point. I'm Nathan Capster.
I'm David Stecco. My character.
The man.
There you go.
So, really cool news. You guys have been nominated for the Parsec Awards, the 2013 awards, for Best New Speculative Fiction Podcaster / Team. That's pretty fucking awesome.
That's really exciting.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you. And we also picked one up for Best Fact Behind the Fiction. We got double.
Really?
Casting.
That's fucking awesome. I
Twice
missed
the
the second
chances
one.
to
That's so
win
cool.
there.
Yeah, I went to try to vote, and then I saw, we can't vote. You just kind of voted to get you nominated, right? So I kind of spaced on voting to get you nominated. But awesome.
It worked out. We're really excited. We had to kind of cobble together some last minute plans, but we're going to go the ceremonies at Dragon Con in Atlanta, and if there's one thing we don't need is a good reason to go to a nerd circus, so we're going.
Right.
Awesome.
That's fucking awesome. So by the time this episode is aired, you will have already either won
crushed
or not. Yeah, you will have already. What am I saying? Either or. You would have already crushed the
Definitely
opposition.
won.
It will already be on the national news for having to be forcibly ejected for not leaving the stage and screaming.
Yeah.
We'll post that video on the Facebook. You'll see that.
We'll try to give you guys a quick shout out while we're being led into the police car.
Definitely.
Fair Point Podcast! The government's lying to you! Fair Point Podcast!
Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Excellent.
What were those psycho boys talking about? Fairpoint? I need to look that up. That's how it works.
Exactly.
That shit goes viral.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or now you're going to be arrested in some collusion trial.
God damn you.
We'll try to hit that sweet spot, right?
Yeah.
Right. Plenty of media exposure, not quite a felony.
Thank you, and we appreciate that. Don't ever let us send a different signal.
That's the Blurry Photos promise. We won't get you messed up in any RICO Act stuff.
I have a question about one of your podcasts, the EVP one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That I feel like that's probably a pretty popular one of yours, huh?
Yeah,
People
I
like
think
it,
so. Yeah,
the
people
electronic voice phenomena one.
Well,
See-
and we had the candy button in there of the spooky one. That almost demanded more feedback. So it is the one we had.
There was the one that was too hot to play.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to get to about that. See, I had just recently listened to that one, and I figured, you said to email you for the link, but I figured I was going to be talking to you in a few days. Anyways, consider this my email. I would love to get that.
Okay.
We'll send you the link.
Yeah, we'll send it over. You dumb.
You poor bastards.
It's one of those things you really can't unhear, huh?
I mean, and do yourself a favor, to get the effect of it, and I know the whole point of us not putting it on there is because we were like, wow, this is kind of intense.
Yeah.
But don't play it at 2:00 while you're at the gym. Give yourself right before you go to bed. Really let it get to you.
Right. Really, really put it in its place.
Yeah. Be in a basement somewhere.
Lights off, spiders all around.
Yeah, and we were so conflicted about that because we really we actually stopped recording and had this half-hour discussion about whether or not we would include it. We the thing that we hate is gimmicky. Oh, log on to Discovery Channel to see the whole story. Yeah, but we were I don't know, man. We do kind of a lighthearted podcast, and it seems unkind to suddenly throw this really dark thing into the middle of it without being able to warn them.
Yeah.
You've built it up now in my mind, and I'm I kind of want to hear it, but I kind of don't. But I kind of do, but I kind of
I mean, it's not going to ruin your life. You're not going to get nightmares from it, but we were trying to be more cognizant of the listeners in general.
Yeah, I mean, it involves a child. If that wasn't part of it, it would probably be okay. I'm just trying to narrow down what exactly it is about the clip itself, besides the obvious kind of ghost or demon talking on something.
I mean, would you prefer? I mean, for the interest of your podcast, because we're kind of just sidestepping something that I'm sure your listeners are. Do you want us just to describe it to you? Is that probably?
Or do you want to just wait and hear the link?
Or you could just play it in your podcast. I don't know.
I was more personally interested.
Yeah.
He was basically saying this is his email to ask for the link.
I don't want to scare away any potential listeners.
We'll send it to you right after we're done. You'll have it before you go to bed.
And of course, if anybody else is interested,
then I will continue to not go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. And bring a book.
It's gonna be a long night.
But yeah, if anyone wants to hear it, it's the EVP was a great episode. It was a lot of fun. And
that's one of my favorite episodes.
It's always fun to find stuff that you don't expect. Before we pick a subject, we'll do a little bit of like preliminary research just to see if there's a good amount of.
We'll reconnoiter the rim, if you will.
We do a little recon just to see if there's enough information to justify a whole podcast. Because sometimes we think we've found something great, and then it's just like there's like 2 pages. It's turns out that it wasn't a mystery. It's totally explained. We're like, oh well. All right, moving on.
That kind of happened to us.
Whereas we do the exact opposite, and we just pick a topic, and we're like, fucking ice cream. And we're like, fuck, we gotta make this last a whole hour about ice cream.
Water parks? There's only 1 page, and it's Wikipedia.
All right.
That's our secret. We don't overthink anything.
God.
We underthink everything.
or we don't think about anything. We just say it.
And
oh my gosh, you're just like us.
See, I want pancakes now, so.
Oh my god. Do you mind if we take a quick break to go get some pancakes?
We'll bring you with us if you want. You can sit at Denny's with us.
Wireless, bro.
Yeah. This is a fair point once again coming at you from the IHOP.
Oh, fuck that shit, Denny's.
Yeah! I would like to imagine that there's a person that's that vehement about it. That they have a real bad IHOP experience, and they've just given all their loyalty to Denny's.
Like to grand slam IHOP right in the next Thursday.
They're like so adamant that they still call it Danny's because that's what it used to be called when it was, back before it was cool. It did literally. I wasn't just making that up, but yeah.
Really? I didn't know that. Danny's, huh?
Yeah, back the fuck off, man. I'm serious about the Denny's.
Get all moons over my hammy up on that ass.
You guys heard about this?
You heard about this?
You guys heard about this?
Yeah, quite a clever story, say.
Hey, Paul. So apparently, there's some controversy going around about an apparent UFO in the background of a juggalo documentary.
That's a surprise.
Insane Clown Posse?
Yeah, the ICP.
The ICP.
How did I know that sick and demented clowns were going to find its way into this podcast?
Oh man, they have to. I am not ashamed to admit, while I don't particularly enjoy the music of the Insane Clown Posse, I am obsessively fascinated with juggalo culture.
I actually run into them a lot where I work, and it's interesting.
Do you work at a cosmetic shop?
Hot topic?
Yeah, they're an interesting lot.
So apparently somebody did a documentary. It's like 23 minutes. What am I saying?
Was it 23 minutes of continuous footage until the camera was stolen?
But it's on YouTube. If you just search for American Juggalo, definitely not safe for work. Anyway,
don't try to keep a job and watch a juggalo video at the same time. It doesn't work out for them, and it won't work out for you.
Around 4 minutes into the video, there's somebody, flapping his gums, standing outside, and up in the top left-hand corner, there's this little silvery dot that moves to the left and then just sort of disappears. And disappears in a way that makes you think, like, it just kind of got folded into the sky, if that makes sense.
Not yet.
No. Dave's playing it right now and looking at it. This is the first time he's seen it.
So I brought this up while Flora was talking.
Hey, we're checking it out.
Yeah, it's exactly at, if you go to 357 and then play it, you'll see that thing up in the corner. It looks kind of like a Mylar balloon, but it doesn't quite work right that way.
Yeah.
I like things that you can Google with 2 3-letter acronyms, ICP UFO. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Although I'm not finding it Googling that, so I guess I should.
Try American Juggalo.
I
should have just followed your advice from the start, but no, I gotta.
See, this is the thing. We've proven the thesis now. Like now, the listeners know exactly what works.
Yeah.
And where in this film am I supposed to go?
Go to 3 minutes and about 55 seconds.
Okay, let me just sign in to confirm my age.
Oh shit! Does that mean that
That's
I
some
actually
raunchy
was already
shit.
somehow signed in and had confirmed my age?
Yeah, you're look, dude.
Oh, I'm signed in as the podcast, and we're into all kinds of weird shit. Woo!
Well, are you over 14 years of age?
Barely.
Mentally,
cutoff?
emotionally, or physically?
Is 14 really the cutoff?
I understand and wish to proceed. Damn, this video takes itself seriously.
Don't
Yeah,
worry, I
it's
was
not a
listening
video,
to
it's
you.
a film, dude.
Was this during the daytime in the film?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the dude that sort of looks like a really scraggly white Coolio.
Yes.
Yeah, he's White Coolio.
And it's to the left, you said?
Upper left-hand corner.
Okay.
Kind of looks like a Mylar balloon, but it's not.
Oh my
Oh, I
god.
see it.
That's
And
nuts.
it just goes away.
Yeah.
What? Well, I wouldn't put it past somebody to put that in that video too. That's
And that's-
really clear. Has it been like analyzed or anything yet?
I don't know that it has, but that's sort of the thing that we run into in this field is that I don't think you can trust anything anymore.
Yeah,
You know? I mean,
it is difficult. I mean,
Technology. Yeah, it's too easy to fake stuff nowadays.
oh yeah, and anybody can do it. You know, You
Photoshop
can-
has been a hazard.
Oh, it's destroyed this whole. It's simultaneously, I think, destroyed, and to those who really believe it, it's bolstered.
Yeah.
Because there's more stuff coming out.
and I think we've discussed this, and I don't remember. We may have actually done it or taken it out of a podcast, but we've had a discussion about whether or not it's even possible to prove anything anymore.
Right.
Whether that even exists as a possibility.
So I say you're about out of business, huh?
Or
Yeah.
Or don't you mean
We should back
extinct?
up.
Yeah, so that's the end of Blurry Photos. Our
Thank
next
you.
podcast is about chicken recipes.
Yeah,
Healthy
man.
living.
You
Hey,
guys
now
like-
you're taking some pointers from us. Just do anything, whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck it, ice cream.
You guys like
Ice cream.
You guys like lemon pepper?
Yeah.
Lemon pepper.
Well, you guys enjoy salmon? That's good for you. It's got antioxidants.
Omega 3.
So, have you guys heard about this? Supposedly, well, not supposedly. I mean, it happened. Well, I don't know. I guess it is supposedly. The fucking government lies to you every
Spit
day,
it out,
as
Nathan.
we've established. A collection of like 500 new myths, legends, and fairy tales and stuff, cataloged around the same time as the Grimm brothers, has been found in Germany.
Yeah, I just heard about that this morning.
That's fucking awesome. I guess they were locked away in an archive in Regensburg for over 150 years. The stories were collected by historian Franz Xaver von Schonworth. I don't.
His name was Bratwurst.
Hans.
Yeah, Hans.
Stein.
Yeah,
Beer,
Stein and
stupid
Bergen.
Venom.
German,
Well, I guess-
German.
He was kind of a big deal. I guess Jacob Grimm actually said of him, "Nowhere in the whole of Germany is anyone collecting so accurately, thoroughly, and with such a sensitive ear." And he considered him the only person worthy of replacing he and his brother in their line of work, you know.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got a shout out from Jacob Grimm. It's going on the back cover of my cover of the book.
Yeah.
Too bad it
He's
took
got the
150
jacket
years.
there.
It's got like some different local versions of already popular fairy tales that we already know, but they're less polished, and like the Grimm brothers kind of added a literary gleam to it, and
Yeah.
it's a little more rough, but there's also a lot of new stories that nobody's heard. I looked at one called The Turnip Princess that I kind of wanted to share. It's interesting.
I love German fairy tales because it never ends well.
Oh yeah, especially for kids.
So
For kids.
So a young prince was out for a walk in the forest one day, and he found himself lost. He came upon a cave, and so he passed the night there. When he awoke, standing next to him was an old witch with a bear and a dog,
Yeah.
which is always a good sign, so we're off to a good start. The witch wished for him to marry her, which he refused. However, she would not let him leave the forest. So
Entrapment.
one day the bear
Don't
was
worry,
alone.
y'all is safe. Y'all ain't going nowhere, but y'all is safe.
Like a spider in my little web.
Then I eats him.
So one day the bear was alone with the prince, and he said to him, "Pull the rusty nail from the wall, so that I shall be delivered, and place it beneath a turnip in the field, and in this way you shall have a beautiful wife."
What?
Okay, can we
Deliver me.
Can we diagram that? So you got a talking bear to a child. Pull the rusty nail out of the wall, put it under a turnip, and you'll have a beautiful wife.
Well, yeah.
Oh, and deliver me.
Is that all it is?
Are you having trouble following the logic there? Or?
Yeah, I don't speak German.
The translation's a little fuzzy.
Well,
Like the bear.
the prince had no problem with it because the prince went right up and he pulled the nail with such force that it shook the cave and let out a loud rumble like thunder. The bear stood up at once like a man, bearded and wearing a crown upon his head. Yeah,
So the bear's a man.
And the nail was like the thing trapping him as a bear.
I think this story's kind of like a weird disjointed dream, and it's not even close to over.
Wait. Can you start back over telling the story? I'm going to push play on Dark Side of the Moon, and I want to see if this lines up in a meaningful way. I'm going to need you to roar 3 times.
So the prince leapt up and he went forth to a field of turnips, of course, because that's where he got put the nail. And he was about to place the nail beneath one of the turnips when appeared above him a great monster, so frightening that he dropped the nail and he pricked his finger on a hedge. And of course, as usually happens when you prick your finger on a hedge, he bled until he passed out.
That exceeds a pricking.
Guys, you can't make fun of this guy. He's got anemia.
So clearly he was
It's not his
German
fault he
royalty.
won't clot.
So when he awoke, he found himself elsewhere, and he noticed from the growth of beard on his chin that much time had passed. He searched long and far through every turnip field.
Wait, what happened to the monster?
I don't know. Dude, it's like...
I guess my work here is done.
Yeah.
Plot hole.
Dude, they just pick up things and they move. This is like... Somebody needs to teach them, like, the 3-act structure, seriously.
The monster comes flying out, and he just wanted to say hi, and he sees the kid pass out in a pool of his own blood and just backs away. Like, oh, crap, oh, no. I've got 2 strikes, I can't go back to jail.
Oh, my God. Okay, I lost myself here. So, he bled till he passed out. He woke up. He had a big-ass beard, so he realized a lot of time had passed. So he went searching through the turnip fields, but he couldn't find what he was looking for. So one night, he sat down dejected on a ridge beneath a flowering blackthorn bush, which had one branch that was yielding red blossoms. He broke off the branch, because he's a dick, and stuck it in a large turnip in front of him, and then he went to sleep. Because
That's something that you do, duh.
Right.
I guess
Well, I mean, it was obviously that was the next move.
Yeah. Well,
That's what they do.
When he awoke in the morning, the turnip had grown and began to resemble like an open nutshell, inside which lay the nail. And of course, there was also a kernel inside, as there usually is in a nutshell.
A kernel? We made him delicious chicken.
And it had a tiny foot, a tiny hand, and even fine hair, as you would see on a beautiful girl. So the prince took the turnip naturally, and he searched and eventually came back upon the cave that he was originally held hostage at, but it was empty. So, next logical course of action, he took the nail and struck it back into the wall, and at once the old woman and bear were suddenly there, too. I don't know what happened to the dog. This story just kind of like mentioned there was a dog, and maybe there wasn't an editor, but they'd never come back to the dog. So the old woman and the bear, the prince is
The bear
like...
ate the dog, maybe?
Yeah, the bear probably got hungry.
Maybe the dog read the story before he was in it. It's like, you know what?
Fuck this, I'm out.
So he demanded of the old woman to know what became of this beautiful girl that apparently got turned into a turnip. And the old woman giggled and said, "You have me, so why do you scorn me?" The bear told the prince to pull the nail out of the wall. The prince said to the bear, "You are honest to be sure, but I shall not be the old woman's fool again." The prince pulled the nail out halfway. So he just kind of pulled it out, and he saw that the bear became half man, and the witch became half beautiful and half kind, I guess.
Kind of beautiful.
Yeah, she was like ugly hot, I guess.
But she had a butter face.
Like 3 a.m. hot.
Yeah. Last call, don't know what to do, gotta get it in.
What we call it a last call beauty queen.
I guess you'll do tonight.
As long as she's above a 4.
So yeah, at that, the prince was like, "Oh, fuck this," pulled the nail out entirely, and the witch turned back into the beautiful woman she once was, delivered from the spell laid upon her. and then the nail burst into flames and burnt up. Then the young pair traveled to the kingdom of the prince's father, and they lived happily ever after, and yeah.
What?
That just kind of ended.
Okay, I'm going to give you some editorial advice.
No climax.
If you could underlay that with the one pill makes you larger, like give it like a real 60s drug trip feel.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is... I feel like I know why the Grimm Brothers fairy tales got popular and his didn't.
Yeah, I understand this guy's dedication to like collecting stories, but I get the very serious like mental image of a guy with like a quill and ink in just some shithole bar and some drunk, and then he pulls the nail. Oh, hold on. He pulls the nail out, and this is not a bear. It's an old man. It says, you should go bury that turnip. Then he goes out there and he loses it. And, wait a minute. Okay, so then he wakes up and he's got a beard.
Brilliant!
Yeah.
Put that in a vault for 150
tell me more
years.
of this ancient tale. Mm-hmm. Yes.
We gonna put this in a time capsule.
We gonna put this in there. Wow. That's a bad drug trip.
Are you sure it's German, though? Because the kid only bled a little. He didn't actually die.
Well, he bled enough to pass out for a week.
Yeah, no one taught him a lesson about good punctuation by cutting his thumb off or anything. That's amazing.
Yeah, you know what's funny? That reminds me. Aren't there some African tales of requesting favors, and then from a shaman, and then the shaman will nail a nail into a wooden stake, and as long as the nail is in there, your request will either come to pass or be working towards it. And once it's removed, then it all kinds of falls apart. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah.
So are you saying there's an uncredited shaman at work in this?
No.
Maybe it's best he's
I
left
I see
uncredited.
where you're coming from, though. No, I've read so much about a lot of this stuff, and I've just forgotten half of it. But I have heard plenty of times before stuff about a nail being driven into, like, well, this was in a cave, but usually into wood of some sort, or a tree or something like that.
So do you think, there had to have been wood in the cave then?
Right?
I mean,
yeah,
can you just nail something into the cave side?
Well, I mean, this is a story where a bear turns half man and has a crown.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess anything's possible.
Right. I mean,
Are you part bear too?
hey, you know what? Just don't touch the damn nail, dude. That's all I'm asking. I got one house rule. Pay $5 for.
Well, okay, I got two. You take your shoes off and you don't touch the nail.
No, it's not. It's not to hang your coat on, dude.
So the one thing I don't get is he pulled
The one thing?
okay, one of the many things I don't get. He pulls the nail out, and the old witch becomes the beautiful young girl, but she's still a witch.
It also where was she the first time the nail came out?
I don't know.
And if she's a witch, like, isn't there a better witchular solution to these problems?
No. This is our hot Wiccan that we keep looking for.
Oh.
Yes.
That's
Our
the
eternal
deal,
quest
dude.
for a hot Wiccan.
If we run into one that is below a 4, then we go to our house and pull out all the nails.
See which one works.
That is bound to work. Let me know how that works out for you guys,
In
too.
no way will it collapse your house.
I am officially announcing I'm opening a singles bar called the Rusty Nail.
Oh no! There was when I went to college, there was a restaurant called the Rusty Nail,
Really?
and it was disgusting. It got shut down quick.
Yeah, I would think so.
It's because there was like human hairs in the turnips.
Well, yeah, no, I worked there for about a week. I was disgusted with the way they ran the place.
That's a terrible name for a restaurant. Yeah. I really like the idea of the Rusty Nail for a singles bar, because it's like, it's a nail, but it's kind of rusty, you know.
You're
Just
shooting
trying to get
yourself in the
back
foot,
on the wagon.
though, because you know your clientele is going to come in and just be like, "So, what's Rusty now, man?" And you're like, well, there's this old German folk, and she'd be like, "You're fucking weird."
Yeah, and they're buying drinks the whole time I'm telling
right.
this shitty story. And it's great. I'll remember it when I'm drunk because it doesn't matter. No, wait. Now
I thought you said there was a dog.
No, the dog ran away. Dog just run away.
Tell this story, bro.
It happens. Don't be a
story.
pussy.
Get out of my bar. Never get laid again in this town, fuckers. Rusty nail rule. You know what? That would be worth like a ghost story episode.
Yeah.
To just read these discovered German folk tales.
That'd be fun.
You guys should totally do it. I will totally
Have
listen to
at
that.
That would be awesome because I'm already in love with it.
Yeah.
That's the only one I've read. So
nonsensical time capsule stories.
What was the guy's name again? Germany. The
yeah, it was
Von Schwarzer or Van Steen.
Professor Xavier. Hold on, let me see.
It was Strudel
Franz
Strudel von Lederhosen III.
Franz Xaver von Schonworth. You'll find it.
All right.
That there was a dead shark found on the New York City subway. A 4-foot shark, which is not an insignificant shark.
I saw this. He smoked cigarettes too, apparently.
The shark smoked cigarettes?
Somebody on that subway took a picture of the shark with a cigarette in its mouth and an energy drink sitting next to it and a subway ticket in its hand. Well, it's fin.
Well, I mean, the rule in New York is anything that's not alive you have to decorate with things.
Yeah.
The city of New York is like a giant frat house, and if you pass out in public, it is every citizen's actual duty to pimp you. People carry Sharpies just for that reason.
Like, oh shit, a shark. Let's fuck with it.
Yeah. I'm gonna draw a dick on its head, and it's gonna be like, oh!
Look, it smokes. It's gonna get cancer.
Watch me teabag this
Gill
shark.
cancer.
Hey, Mikey, look at this fucking shark over here.
Yes!
Oh, this shark is dead.
What kind of bloop does the shark make?
Oh my God,
Holy
it's
shit, you
shark.
wasted a perfectly good energy drink. What's the matter with you,
No, it's for art, Mikey. It's for art.
Don't you get it? It's like it's a statement because the shark's dead. But like Red Bull is all about living. It's fucking
Hey, look, this shark's got wings.
It's over your head, you ignoramus.
Oh, it's a fucking dead shark, huh?
What I don't care that the shark's on the train so much. I want to know about like if it was like a Tarantino film. Like the film starts with the shark on the train,
And then you get to see how it got there?
All the people that were involved in this shark getting on the train. I want to know all the at one point there's a guy walking down the streets of New York with a shark slung over his shoulder, and he makes it past the little security booth into the train. There's always like a transit employee, and was that employee just like there's no way I'm stopping these guys with a shark. I have no idea what's going on here.
I am not fucking with a shark.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I've dealt with knives and guns, but not sharks.
I can guarantee my union rep will not back me up if I get involved with this shark issue.
This was a few weeks ago. Was this Shark Week that this actually happened?
That's what I was it sounds like a promo shit.
Yeah,
You know?
Discovery. I wouldn't put it past the Discovery Channel.
I'm so sick of Discovery Channel.
Seriously, fuck Discovery Channel. Did you guys see the mermaid thing?
Oh, you know what? There's an episode of our podcast where I go on a lengthy tirade about the mermaid thing. I was so mad about it. And they did the same thing with the Megalodon. These bullshit mockumentaries where they're like, oh no, we ran a disclaimer between two aftershave ads, and you didn't see that?
Bullshit. No,
Well,
you
not
didn't.
everybody realizes it. Like, we had New Era, a rap group here on it, and they actually were the ones who clued me into this story, and I'm like, real mermaids? And they're like, yo, there's footage and everything, and we're like, what? So we looked it up, and of course I'm like, this is bullshit. What the fuck,
Right,
Discovery
yeah.
Channel?
And it's irritating because it's not readily apparent bullshit. They go to, they pretend that they were really upfront, but they go to a fair amount of effort to make sure you don't know it's bullshit right off the bat.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, Discovery Channel can just go to hell now. I mean, they got rid of Dirty Jobs, which was awesome. And now that I know that Mike Rowe is not going to get hurt, it's time for them to just implode. Although I do really like Deadliest Catch. I will say that. Bastards! They still got their hooks in me.
We've all got our indulgences.
Just like crabs. Oh well.
We've
Right,
all got
and you know what?
crabs.
No, they
Why
like
not?
crabs.
Why not just call it the Jobs You'll Never Have channel? I can respect that.
Yeah.
Like, get out of the faux education altogether. Like, leave it all. There's some other network that at this point wants to run nature documentaries the way God intended, with David Attenborough narrating. and just let Discovery Channel just drop the name and just move on and be like, hey, American Assholes with Jobs Network.
Yeah.
AAWJ Network.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. It's just like MTV. MTV doesn't play music, but there's still MTV. Cartoon Network plays live action shows. Comedy Central will be playing dramas sooner or later before we know it.
So, like, the next best place for documentaries is the Playboy Channel? Is that like, it's got to all, like, every channel has to, like, betray its core audience eventually?
Wait,
closest to the truth you'll
wait a
ever
minute.
get.
Do you mean to tell me that those aren't already documentaries?
Well, actually, you
I
probably
learned a lot.
Yeah, you probably are learning a lot from that already. But yeah, I think maybe that's the nature of the beast, that every network has to betray its viewers.
Yeah,
You guys-
AMC is all about good series now instead of movies.
That's true. And I mean, FX has great shows all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, they had Rescue Me. About 8
That's
years.
true.
Yeah.
You're completely correct. That was a great show.
That's all I got, though.
Well, they got Archer. They got.
Shield.
See, they've been quietly building a stable of
Yeah,
good
they
shows.
have American Horror Story, so they just win.
I haven't watched it yet. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Oh man, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, you gotta
but
get on that.
I'll tell you what, the hardest show to masturbate to. Because that I'm sorry, I hope I don't alienate anybody, but that maid goes from winner to loser real fast.
It's like somebody stuck a nail in a cave.
Yeah, just pause it, okay? Pause it and enjoy the imagery. Don't let the scene play out, guys.
Yeah,
That's
right.
my advice to the dudes of America.
1 second they're awesome, the next second they're an old hag, and
Right. And the worst part is then you're just left with that image.
Yeah.
You're like,
you can't get it out of your head.
yeah, I've got to make this work, and now I'm broken.
You just Stanley Kubrick'd me.
Yeah.
Just slowly and softly repeat to yourself, it's just a sandhill crane.
Oh. Nicely segged, my friend. All right, so are you gentlemen ready to get your crane
We'll
on?
follow you.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, cool.
All right.
Just the facts. The sandhill crane, or, and pardon me for pronouncing this scientific name horribly wrong, Grus canadensis, is a species of migratory large crane native to North America and northeastern Siberia. It is characterized by their bright red foreheads and up to 7-foot wingspan. And I guess that's the basics right there.
Yeah, also characterized by their glowing red eyes and ability to speak telepathically.
Yes.
And also for looking like a man sometimes.
Yeah.
A man bat, if you will.
Yep, or a robot, or
Really,
horse.
whatever you need it to be.
Right, anything, whatever you need it to be, so you can sleep at night. That's
Also
what it
notable for its Harbinger of Doom ability.
is. Yeah, it precedes calamity.
Yeah, there's definitely a very interesting. You guys have a very interesting and emotional history with the sandhill crane.
It's just like a guy who keeps we keep trying to throw a party, and people are like, "Yeah, this is really fun. Pictionary's great." And that one guy just shows up. He's like, "Hey, well, I want to play Pictionary too. I got a That's a dick. I just drew that.
Dukes are funny.
Get out, Sandhill Crane." He shows up. It's like this. It's this thing we've noticed. Whenever we do a podcast about a cryptid or a zoological entity or an unknown entity of any kind, there's some jackweight who's like, well, it's most likely a sandhill crane. Like, but I don't get it. Like, why do you pick this one bird and it's this one thing that everyone blames everything unknown on? And maybe it's not the bird's fault.
So what is it? I mean, some of the big ones are like Mothman, the Jersey Devil, the Hanging Munchkin, and the Wizard of Oz. What are...
Yep.
I know I've heard you guys mention some other ones.
And yeah, we've heard it that it's a ton of different ghost sightings come up to Sandhill Crane. I saw a Sandhill crane reference, and I don't remember if it made it in because I think I went off on a tirade about it. We may not have had time for the skateboard swamp creature. Somebody thought that might have been a crane.
Yeah, people have, while not directly saying it's a sandhill crane, when we talked about the bunyip from Australia,
yes.
there was a family of heron that has been said to maybe be what these bunyips are.
It's always a bird, though.
And it's a bird, and yeah, I mean, sandhill cranes, I think, it's all the same family. I mean, they're all going to the same damn reunion together, you know, even if it's not.
And it just couldn't. I mean, you see pictures of them, and people aren't that stupid.
Yeah, I hear you. It's in some senses in the dark. Okay, well, here I have kind of a story. Once I used to live across the street from this really big cemetery, and me and one of my roommates went out, and we were hanging out there. I think we had a couple beers or something. We were just hanging out, talking,
just desecrating some graves.
Yeah, you know,
dancing.
No. We were just hanging out, talking. It wasn't nighttime when we went out there, but you know how it is in the summer. It becomes nighttime in a matter of minutes. Suddenly it's dark out. So it's dark out. We're still hanging out there. We look over and we notice what looks like a horde of like hobbits just coming towards us, like little people, ghouls. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like
hairy-footed beasts.
Yes, it was
they got
horrifying.
An appetite.
It looked
was there like a second like horde behind the first one going, "No, Mr. Frodo, no." There's like a secondary like parasitic version called the Gamgees, the little Samwises chasing him around.
Maybe hobbits is too benign comparison. It was like zombie children wandering the graveyard at night. It was horrifying. We were both genuinely frightened. Like I said, I have an interest in the paranormal, but I'm a relatively rational man. Like, I was genuinely like, what the fuck is going on? And she just kind of stayed back for a minute, and I was like inching closer to try to get some type of glimpse of what this was. And the closer I got, eventually I realized it was wild turkeys. But I swear to God, and no, I know what you're thinking. No, I wasn't on drugs. There was nothing. We may have had a beer or two, but we weren't drunk. We were a very sound mind. In the dark, they did not look like birds. They looked like something totally different.
And once you noticed that they were wild turkeys, you instinctively said, "They're wild turkeys, run."
Yes, I was like, oh God, wild turkeys. I've seen South Park. I don't trust
even
this.
Creepier than zombie children.
Get the fuck out of here!
I've got a question for you here.
Yes.
You just very quickly dropped in that your companion on this grave raiding was a lady.
Yes, we know ladies.
Were you getting it on in the graveyard?
No, not at all. It was just my roommate, just a friend of mine.
Was she Wiccan?
You see,
worshiping one of them equinoxes, were you?
What you don't know is she wasn't getting it on, but he was.
Isn't that how it always goes?
I gotta go to the bathroom.
That's what I love about riding
this
the
tree
subway.
Over here. Oh yeah, rub your shoulders because you're getting chilly.
Oh God, zombie children.
No, my question is this. Like, my thought is, and I'm glad that you said this because. So it looked like little, like, weird zombie children, and you kind of stuck around and had to observe them for a second to figure out what they were. Is that correct?
Yes.
Good on you.
Yeah, I just lapsed into a prosecutor's voice. No, according to your testimony here, is this a correct characterization?
I may not be no big-citted chicken.
Seems to me y'all are out in a graveyard fornicating after dark. Now, I don't know how the rest of the jury feels about your testimony, but I'm going to call into question some of your judgment. Because my thought is this. I would think when a person like, for example, Mothman, the first sighting, people are driving down the road and they see this creature on the side of the road that they think is a man at first. My thought is, if I'm in the middle of nowhere and I see something unexplained, my brain is going to work as hard as it can to beat that into something I recognize. To be like, oh no, it's a bird. It's a thing that I know, as opposed to. But having not been in that situation, like I can't say that for sure. So I'm glad that you said that. So it is a pareidolia.
Yeah, I mean, well, I was kind of like scared. I wasn't actually scared. Like, I didn't actually feel like I was in any danger because I was like, okay, I know there aren't a bunch of zombie children in this graveyard.
Right. Well, also, you had to, like, butch it up because there was a lady watching.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
Of course. Yeah, I mean...
Zombie children, cheese it!
All you said is,
take her!
I love you.
Yeah, but
Cheese it.
She's it.
That's the best.
that goes back to something that we mentioned in the EVP episode, and something that you mentioned in your Pink Floyd episode of the pareidolia. You know, trying to make some sense of the information that's coming in.
Yeah.
And it just so happens
you came up with zombie children.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's brilliant. You
Can't think of anything else.
Freaking the zombie children.
I'd be like, cinder blocks, stacks of LPs. Ah, damn it!
Turkeys.
So about this bird.
So
about this son of a bitch.
This son of a bitch bird.
And I feel bad. I feel maybe it's not the bird's fault, where he's like, no, guys, no, I'm not.
Really cool, you guys.
Yeah, you know, I'm not the one saying that it's me, man. I'm just a bird. I'm just trying to, like, eat small fish, man.
Nah, see, you
I'm
got it
just
all
a
wrong.
bird trying to
see?
get a fish.
You gotta understand, man. I live in wetlands. I've got hard enough times as it is.
In the summer, I'm in the meadows. Ain't no fish around?
So yeah, they stand about 2 to 4 feet tall. That's their average height. As we said, their key characteristic is like the red patch on their forehead, which is actually bald skin. The blood vessels.
Yeah. They're disgusting.
They can flush their blood vessels underneath to like intensify the red color as a symbol of aggression.
Ugh. Now,
you guys
You're
are
just so thoroughly disgusted by this creature.
No,
Like,
I am. I am both emotionally and physically disgusted by this creature.
everything
And,
about this creature just nauseates you.
I've got. I've got the.
This whole
the
problem would be
Wikipedia
solved if
page.
the animal was just extinct.
Right. Well, you know what? I'm so glad you said that, because I'm looking at the Wikipedia page right now, and they have, for any animal, they have like the conservation status. And I am chagrined
going.
and disgusted to report to you that it is currently listed as least concern, as though there is no threat to this creature whatsoever. It's just doing what it wants, scaring people,
Still protected though.
pretending that it's an unknown critter.
I did find an article that said that
That is good eating.
that was good. The Colonel fries them up good. Minnesota has allowed hunting of sandhill cranes within the past couple of years.
Yeah, you know why? Jesse the Body Ventura. That's why.
Is he still governor there?
No, but
No.
I'd like to believe that like his spirit has infused the state or others.
I gotta say, I dig their music scene. There's a lot of cool music coming out of Minnesota.
There is. Minneapolis has an amazing music scene.
Absolutely. That's my home center for music is like Minneapolis or Toronto.
I agree. I've gotten to go up to Toronto a few times, and I love Canada so much, and if I could become a Canadian citizen, I would. And that's not a political statement. I'm all about the USA. I just love Canada, and I love Canadians. To the point which I actually have proposed to a Canadian citizen before.
Wow.
She was creeped out,
Oh,
predictably.
well,
It's because I'm Canadian, isn't it?
you can't just become a Canadian. Oh, we're sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, you got to fight for it.
They're
Because
back across the border, eh?
yeah, this girl, I worked with her, and she was a Canadian citizen and had some problems with working in the U.S., had been deported before. And I was like, let's solve all of our problems. Let's just get hitched. Listen, the government only has to watch us have sex like once every 3 weeks. That's it. They send a guy to the house, they watch it happen, document it. It's awesome.
I always wondered how that worked.
Yep, that's the world. That's the legal rule. They call that the Russian Mail Order Bride Act. They enacted that a few years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Damn you, Obama!
But yeah, Toronto has a great music scene. Minneapolis has an amazing music scene.
Everywhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Everywhere else. I was going to say Austin, because I'm pretty sure Minneapolis is kicking Austin's ass.
So back to these birds.
Yeah, back to the birds. These
What birds?
disgusting, lying,
These fucking birds. I mean, I've grown kind of endeared to them. They mate for life, and then after their chicks hatch, the chicks like stay with them until the next migration. and then their parents find their own territory and kick the young out. And the young cranes band together and live in flocks until they're old enough to find their own mates in their own territory. I thought that was kind of cool.
Ditching responsibilities is
it's
cool,
awesome.
huh?
We have a real problem with that on the south side of Chicago, where the young band together in groups. It doesn't work out. It sounds cute in a story scenario, but we call those gangs.
Yeah.
And,
You're 1 year old. Get out of the house. Go get a job.
Hey, just let me romanticize it, okay?
But in bird years, they're
It's like
dangerous.
46.
That's right. They are the hooligan gangs of the animal kingdom.
Oh, I hit him right proper, I did.
Crikey! Yeah, no, they're terrible. They're just I don't. You can go ahead and cozy up to the Sandhill Crane lobby. I'm sure you've taken their money. You've been bought off.
No, it's not like that. You got us all wrong, man. I tell you. What Crane Foundation?
There is a lot of appreciation for him, too. There's, like, annual Sandhill Crane festivals all over the place in California and Washington
but
and
you
New
also got to
Mexico.
remember, these are people that, as a hobby, watch birds.
You know what? Flora and I have been discussing the idea of a road trip for a long time. We were going to go to the Mothman Festival. I take it back. We're loading a Prius full of baseball bats, and we're going to the Sandhill Crane Festival.
Nice.
The Prius will get us through the front door. They'll think we're one of them.
Today on Blurry Photos.
Light them up, boys!
Did you get that on tape? Load it up to YouTube.
Did you guys hear, did you encounter that noise in any of your research, that noise that they make?
Not really.
No, I've never heard the noise they make.
They make this,
Shattered
it almost
dreams,
sounds
right?
like a dolphin. It's you can tell it's a bird, and apparently they're able to make this loud, like, complex call because their trachea doesn't just go straight connecting their, like, mouth to their lungs. It winds around their breastplate, and it's almost as long as the bird itself.
Their trachea runs deep, so deep, so deep.
What is it? Kind of like a.
Yeah. So here's my question then. We like to pick on a guy named Bashar, and he's a kind of a new age semi-prophet, and he runs this thing in Hawaii that I don't know if it's annual, but it's called the cetacean transformation, where humans can get in touch with their dolphin lives.
I have heard you guys rib on this so many times. I'm sorry. I don't listen to him in order. I just kind of
Nor would I
jump
ever ask.
around.
I would
But
never
I've
ask
heard it
you.
so many times, and I haven't caught the one where you actually explain it, please.
It's the channeling episode. Is where
Yeah,
he
it's
gets
where we
introduced.
find it first. So,
Okay.
Yeah, Bashar, he's just like a kind of a new age guru guy, and he ran this thing called the cetacean transformation, which is, clever marketing. It sounds great, but we've been obsessed with mocking it ever since. And if these birds are making dolphin sounds, that puts them into the minions of Bashar category and further damns them.
Is it? I feel like it kind of makes me think of Douglas Adams or something. Is he basically saying that everyone evolves into dolphins?
It's not that clever.
Yeah,
No.
no, at all. And well, it's what he does is help people get in touch
With their inner
the
dolphin.
dolphin intelligence.
Yeah, you
within
raise
them.
your vibration.
Yeah, because dolphins are like doing like the deep calculus of the ocean, and we're just too dumb to figure it out. So
okay.
Oh,
But
so
Shark
I was
guy-
thinking like that they actually shapeshifted into dolphins and just swam for a night.
So,
oh man,
but
so
if
much cooler if it was. It's way lamer than that.
if I get in touch with my dolphin side, does that mean I'm gonna like rape everything?
Yeah,
Because
you
Yes.
get a lot of gangbanging going on.
yeah, you can
That's
become
given.
an aqua rapist.
yeah, I don't know if I want
In
to
a-
get in
in a
touch with that side
quadrupus.
of myself. That
That's a
frightens
bad
me.
one.
That's a bad one. So that's why we like to wail on Bashar so very much. And also, we know he's never going to come after us. Technically, he totally makes a ton of money doing what he does and could crush us with his cetacean lawyers. Bashar has got a lot of friends theoretically. I don't know. He probably wears a lot of like loose robes.
Yeah.
Theoretical
White.
friends.
You know what? Here's a fun fact. I've never seen a picture of Bashar.
You don't even know what this guy looks like, and you hate him so much.
Oh, at least listen to the podcast. I have made a very clear point about how little it takes for me to hate something.
That's not number 2 on my queue.
The other thing about the channeling episode, again, one of our earlier episodes, and much like yourselves, we're kind of hesitant to ever steer anybody in that direction. Oh, shoot. All I get is Bashar al-Assad, leader of Syria, which, what's the difference? They're both bastards.
That'd be kind of interesting if they're the same guy.
Okay.
Like a jingle.
I figured it out. Bashar is the entity channeled by a guy named Daryl.
Of course.
So Bashar is this spirit out from another plane of existence.
Yeah, and he's channeled by Daryl Anka.
The ultimate odd couple.
That sounds like a credible source, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Although, damn it! Oh, son of a bitch! There's nothing I hate than information contradictory to the idea I formed without any information. Daryl Anka is also a special effects designer and has worked on like iRobot, Pirates of the Caribbean, Iron Man, Die Hard. So when this guy's not like making a sweet ass Mark III Tony Stark suit, he's all like, "Hold on, guys, this weekend I gotta go talk to dolphins."
Wow.
He was Aquaman for a night.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Still hate him. I refuse to revise my opinion because it's too much fun to say Bashar. So yeah, that whole thing started because the Sandhill crane makes a dolphin sound, which puts them under the Bashar category in my mind. They just got a red flag in their file.
maybe they are in touch with their inner dolphins. I don't think they're very rapey. Like I said, they mate for life. They do something else cool when they're nesting. They preen their feathers with this mud that's rich in iron oxide, which gives them a rusty brown red color, like overlaying their normal gray color.
AKA dirty as fuck.
And they camouflage themselves. They also like decorate themselves with wet, decaying
hiding from
swamp
predators.
material.
I gotta tell you, so do juggalos.
Oh, no, that is human poop that just rolled out of your pant leg.
They're diarrhea people. They are who we thought they were. They are who we thought they were. They are. They're the avian juggalos. They're all like, whoop, whoop. Whoop.
Every single thing is a con. It's looking like you can make a con in anything.
Yeah, that's because, again, I require no data to formulate an opinion. I'm an opinion machine.
You're a decider.
That's right. That's right. Flora is the one that requires proof and does research and has a logical mind and is rational.
I gotta write stuff down.
Yeah, he writes things down. I'm from the hip, man. It's just code for lazy. Damn birds. Did you know that their eggs are oval shaped? I'm so glad that Wikipedia could let us in on that secret.
Oval-shaped eggs, you say?
Well, I'll tell you what. Just to get back to the old fucking fuckhill crane.
Yeah, get on back to that crane.
It's funny that people think this thing is the Mothman or the Jersey Devil or any of a number of cryptids because, you know, they get to about 4 feet tall, but these cryptids that are described usually run somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 feet to 7 feet.
Yeah, like...
You know? So, I get that the wingspan can get up to maybe 7 feet long, but that's not the height of it. You know what I mean?
It would make sense if people described a man with glowing red eyes that was lying horizontal to the ground about 3 feet up.
It was a poltergeist. That's what it was.
Yeah, a glowing red crotch.
Best cryptid ever. The haunted hobo. He's said to sleep on roadsides 3 feet above the ground.
That's my favorite cryptid.
Well, boys, I think you got a real wing-dinger there.
Man, there's a T-shirt.
I mean, just to play devil's advocate, people do exaggerate height all the time. All the time.
That is true.
Because
yeah.
people aren't generally good at estimating heights. I'm horrible at it. I couldn't do it if my life depended on it.
I thought Paul Bunyan was like 50 feet tall. So
there's an ego trigger in that as well. When you're scared by something and you go report it to a cop, you're not going to be like, dude, this thing was 3.5 feet tall. It scared me to death. No, you can't do that. You're like, shit was 8 feet tall if it was an inch.
Yeah.
It shot razor fangs at me. I was able to dodge them because I practiced karate.
Not the razor fang attack.
it was the Mothman, I tell you. It was the Mothman. Go protect the bridges.
I'm going to need some of your shotguns, officer.
Please and thank you.
Do not make me ask twice.
Yeah, that's a good point, though, because it's been documented that they've researched people estimating the height completely inaccurately, especially if something's above them or flying or off just even 10, 15 feet away, you know?
And it's always hard to tell what your brain's going to do with scale.
Yeah.
I work at an art auction house, and we take, obviously we take pictures of everything. And sometimes, a person will have bought a vase or something, and you see the picture, and your brain just assigns a height to it. You're like, oh, it's like 10 inches tall. And you'll look for it and never find it. And then you find out later the thing was like 2 inches tall. Because your brain, and you don't realize it until you get caught, but your brain, especially like on a dark road, when you can't see trees behind it, it's just illuminated by headlights. It's hard to your brain just fills in data and you don't realize it's doing it.
Yeah, I do the same thing with Doritos.
Craig.
What? No. He's going to explain that now.
Time out.
Doritos? Yeah, wait a minute.
When you're in the store and you're looking at the bag and it says enlarged for texture.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to shove this big fist-sized Dorito
it's like
in my
4-inch on a side Dorito. And okay, that does make sense.
Well, first
All right.
off, the bags are half
allow
empty
it,
to begin with.
I'll allow it.
Game on.
I do the same thing to give myself confidence.
Yeah, that's why I make sure to only expose myself on a darkened roadside in headlight.
Well, I'm
So I'm
sure
like,
that... let's be honest, that's not the only reason.
That's true. You're right. You got me. But it does help, seriously. When there's no, background, it's as big as I want it to be. All right, so so we've got, what is the next?
The mythology.
Mythology, yes.
Oh, we're still doing this. Oh, okay. Anyways, back to basics.
I guess a little bit of mythology about them. There's not a lot of mythology specifically about the Sandhill crane that I could find, although they are specifically associated with lightning in some Native American mythology.
Thunderbirds.
Yes. I thought I saw a
didn't know
thunderbird, but it turned out it was 3 feet tall. There is this Native American myth of the great ancestral Sandhill crane, which was flying and was shot at with a volley of arrows, but he blocked all of them with his forehead, which of course results in the bald forehead and the bright red color and whatnot.
Wow.
That's kind of cool.
Got a hard noggin.
And let's not forget, like, the subtext of that is that everyone from the dawn of time knew to shoot that fucker down instantly. Like,
It's
there's a
Bigfoot! Kill it!
Genetic memory kicked in, and they were like, shoot!
The crane's gonna eat us!
That thing's 24 feet tall!
And I really applaud the crane for its thinking. I'll block these arrows with my head. That'll show them.
Cranes in general, like to Native American tribes, they're thought of often as like ambassadors of peace or symbols of luck, and they're also seen as symbols of luck by fishermen. So that's kind of a common thread there. I don't know.
What is the audio equivalent of like a hand jerking motion where you're like symbols of peace? Nope.
Fap.
Yeah, fap. Nope. Nope.
Fap.
It's like an alternating fap nope combo.
Fap, nope.
Does that mean that there's like a spider involved?
Oh God, I hope not.
Bleh.
Those two words should never be in the same sentence together.
Agreed.
Fapping spiders.
Oh God.
Fun, interesting fact. I have a degree in entomology. I cannot stomach spiders.
Well, those
I will
aren't
kill them
insects.
Me neither.
6 legs, who cares? It's fun. They're adorable. 8 legs, they all must die, and they must know that it was I who pulled the trigger.
Well, no, I have a huge issue with wasps and yellow jackets. Those guys are assholes.
Well, that's because you're allergic
They are.
to them.
They could also kill me, but still.
Watch this. Watch me get all high and mighty on this, okay? The Hymenoptera, although some of them are quite valuable in the ecosystems, Hymenopterans, by and large, are solitary creatures who contribute very little to their surroundings.
Fap.
Fap. Nope.
Nope. Wait, hold on 1 second. I've somehow managed to get our mic cord wrapped around my chair. So let me fix that.
I thought you were gonna say your neck.
And that's how I died.
Same way
while
I
you're-
came into this world. Don't worry about being here too long, because you're kind of like the first internet celebrities I've ever talked to.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, because I've got some horrible, painful news for you. We are far from internet celebrities.
You're the first successful podcasters that we've ever had on the show,
Also,
and it's awesome.
the first other podcasters we've had on the show.
Yeah, podcasters in general.
I'll take that. I'll take first other podcasters.
I just knew this would be a good idea. Yo, we should get them in on the life thing.
What a game of life.
Is this a suicide pact? I've always wanted to be a part of one of these.
All right. Now prick your finger on a hedge.
And bleed till you pass out.
That's right.
Don't worry, I'll come around to collect it.
Sweet, I've been needing a beard.
Yeah. I'm totally gonna bang that witch. Yeah. You're gonna bang that bear that turns into an old man. You homo.
Thank you guys so much. This has been fucking amazing.
This has been so fun. I'm really into this. This is great.
Yeah, I really hope we can do this again sometime soon. You guys are welcome back here anytime you like. We are, as I said, completely honored to have you on as
Definitely.
guests.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
It's been a ton of fun.
It absolutely has.
I knew this was gonna go good.
I knew this.
I'm not pretentious or anything, but
You guys are awesome.
you're awesome too.
Yeah.
You
I
guys
guess
are
I guess
awesome.
you guys are kind of cool. No,
I mean-
you guys are awesome.
I don't want to make it seem like too queer or nothing, but I don't know. I just like to hold you. You know, just feel safe for a while. Is that okay? Does
Don't
that mean
threaten
no
me
homo?
with a good
No homo.
time,
I mean,
baby.
Also, unicorns are awesome.
Oh, this
Hey,
has
I don't
been
know. All I want to say is, how did a horse with a horn on its head? That's
Trolls
totally
get lost.
masculine. Don't judge me.
What are you talking about? I will fight anybody who says a unicorn is lame.
I think they were classified as feminine when they couldn't hold their own against the troll invasion.
That's true. Also, they got chumped by Tom Cruise at one point.
Yeah.
That's pretty embarrassing.
And Tim Curry.
When
Well,
was
Tim
that
Curry
when he was
was
the last
badass.
samurai?
No, that was in Legend.
No, I think you're thinking of Days of Thunder.
Bighorn, yeah. Or was it Risky Business? I don't remember. I remember
He
some
plays
underwear.
the same damn character in every one of his movies. So
Plowed into a unicorn in a nitro burning funny car. Sure, that. Request permission to buzz the elfin forest. Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern's full. Fuck it, we're dropping napalm.
Fuck you, unicorns!
I heard the new unicorn had the knock list, so that's why they had to die. Mission Impossible. Anybody? Too deep. Dug too deep. My bad. I withdraw the testimony, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Well, I feel like the problem is there never was any unicorns to begin with. It really was just a sandhill crane.
Oh,
That's what it was.
and that's the butt. That's how you bring it around.
how you
Fucking
tie it.
Sandhill Crane taking the credit for everything.
Everything. Fame Hagen, son of a bitch.
They are. They're the world's worst animals. Next to bed bugs. Those are awful.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
All this hating on cranes kind of make me feel bad for the guy.
You know what? No.
Do you say the same thing about Rush Limbaugh?
Yeah, exactly. Who might be a Sandhill Crane? A horribly overweight, pain-addicted Sandhill Crane.
I thought I
You
saw-
see what I'm trying to say here, people? Sandhill Crane is the last bastion of Americanism.
holy shit.
Liberals will have you know that Sandhill Crane is they're going to defame it. They're going to try to say it's a liar because it's a threat to their agenda. It's a harbinger of doom.
Now do him while he's eating donuts.
Oh, it's a powdered donut. And then he chokes and dies.
Oh, and they lived happily ever after with the turnip
It's-
princess.
The way that he doesn't choke on powdered donuts is by soaking them in the blood of the unborn first.
Oh, that's how I.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
goal is to get sued, I think.
Yeah.
I won't feel legit until I've had
Can
to
you
pay
imagine Rush Limbaugh just listening to random obscure podcasts?
That'd be great.
He's like, what? These guys are making fun of me? Fuck them.
That's
I
right.
will fuck the faces.
I would respect it if that was his position. I would be like, shit, okay, Rush, sorry.
Carry on.
Yeah.
Literally, there will be skull raping.
He really took that dark instantly. I had no idea who I was dealing with.
You're fucking with Rush Limbaugh, bitch.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's magnificent.
Cha-ching. Oh, you can do the cash register sound, right? I know you guys do it.
Oh, yeah. We love our sound effects.
You gotta love the Spring Hill Jack slap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's all Flora magic, man. He
Do
invents
you guys? I gotta ask. Whenever I hear Spring Hill Jack, no matter what, like the context of the account, I can't help but picture the monster in my pocket.
Oh yeah, that's what I picture anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's where Flora got the idea for the episode. I'd never heard of it before he told me about it. He got it from the monster.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Like, I love those. I actually just recently at a comic store found issue number 1 of Monster in My Pocket, the comic series, and a couple other issues. It's not really worth money, but to me, that's a fucking fortune, you know?
Oh yeah, dude, I had the Nintendo game.
Oh, no way. That's cool. I've played it on a ROM.
Yeah.
I ordered on eBay a couple years ago the complete trading card set, which is pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Let's
I've
go.
been looking on eBay for just some random packs and stuff.
The monsters in my pocket have been an amazing resource.
Yeah, funnily enough.
They're fucking awesome.
I have a book of cryptozoology. We've already burned through it. It's done. Like, we picked all the good ones.
Then do the bad ones. Trust me,
Yeah,
make
well,
it good.
we save those for the Miscrypted contest.
That's right. Well, that was the whole point of a month of cryptids. They're like, let's just get all these things. They're 10 minutes and move on.
I dig it. I love it because there's a lot of them that you've covered too that I love hearing about them. There's some that I've forgotten about, and then you rekindle my interest in it.
Nice.
When I was a child, I sort of fashioned myself a independently funded paranormal investigator. I had no money, so I was independently
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think that's a cool life scheme.
His EVP recorder was a talk boy.
Have you ever seen Invader Zim? Like, I was basically that kid
yeah.
before that show came out. That was me as a kid. So
That's great. That's a great show.
Yeah, it is. When that came out on Netflix was like the best day ever.
yeah, I was a big fan of his comics before the show came out, so I was psyched when that came out.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's legit.
Please, if you're, let me start that over.
Nope, you gotta keep it.
Nope, we're going. It's live. Please, if this is your first introduction to them, if this is your first introduction to us, go check out their podcast. It's superior. Even if this is neither your first introduction to either, go listen to their podcast. Blurry Photos, you can find it in the iTunes store. You can find it on their own website, blurryphotos.org. Go like their Facebook.
Not .com.
What?
Nope.
Right.
Yeah,
.org.
not .com. Yeah, fuck
Profit
blurryphotos.com.
organization, because we can't generate profit.
If you want shitty photography of like you and your family, go to blurryphotos.com. Please don't sue us.
By the way, an awful name to name your company.
We
if
hold
you're
no
a photographer.
claim to the quality of their
You're a
You're a
photographs.
photographer that's shooting yourself in the foot and not with a camera.
I'm gonna open a business called Mama Botulism's Catering.
Yeah.
When you're done liking Blurry Photos Facebook page, you should hop on over to Fairpoint Podcast Facebook.
Face point.
Blink. You should hop on over to Fairpoint Podcast.
No,
Facebook
no, you
page.
gotta. I'm not gonna be able to edit that. Come on, dude.
There are limits even to what I will do.
You gotta say that again.
Okay. When you're done over at When you're done at Blurry Photos Facebook page, hop on over to Fairpoint Podcast page on Facebook.
Yeah,
Give
on
us
Facebook.
a like. Check us out.
Not on MySpace. We don't have a MySpace.
No, there's no MySpace anymore.
We don't have a Google Plus.
Shit's outdated. That's like having VCRs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a MySpace commercial the other day.
Yeah.
Why are you wasting money?
We've
There's
also got a
commercials?
Betamax video that we're selling.
Is there any more of that Napster stock left?
That's right. I would encourage your listeners to start at Fairpoint Podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
And then if you're still feeling frisky, come on over to Blurry Photos. We'll fuck you up.
Now I feel like we're going to have competitions between who has a better Facebook page.
I think you're going to win.
Yeah, we're like once a week maybe.
Yeah.
You guys are too humble. You guys are fucking awesome. You guys rock the podcastosphere, whatever the fuck. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but
It's like the blogosphere, but with too many syllables. to make
yeah,
it work.
way too many syllables.
Yeah, agreed.
And thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And also, if this is your first time, listen to the rest of the episodes of Fairpoint. Do it.
Do it.
No, just the newer ones. Just the
should.
newer
Yeah,
ones.
don't go too far back, and I would caution you to do the same thing. I'm even going to go so far as to say, if you do feel like listening to Blurry Photos, maybe you give Aleister Crowley a skip off the top.
Hey, I like that episode, man. I think you guys are too hard on it.
I was actually going to ask you what one you would suggest people that haven't listened to start out with.
Probably Spring Hill Jack.
Yeah, I think Spring Hill Jack is our favorite, most accessible.
Yeah. Episode I think 24 is that. Is the one
Yeah,
that is.
EVP is a good one. Literally the ones that you have mentioned. I mean, there's a reason that you did. You know, people
Yeah.
like those. Those are good. Well, thank you for listening to any of them.
Yeah.
Thank you for entertaining me through the workday while I'm cleaning my room, all that shit. Thank you.
And thank you for listening to us in return. I didn't even know that.
Absolutely. Well,
I was like, these guys are
alive.
like, who the fuck are these dudes? I think they're skipping in on our turf.
Who the fuck are these? Oh, okay.
They want to be our friends. Oh, okay.
I think you and I are a lot alike. We'll start with hatred and then let people earn our respect.
Absolutely.
You hearing me, Bashar?
Wait, Crane. Earn it.
You know how to get in touch with me.
This has been a pleasure. I sincerely hope we can do this again.
Absolutely.
From the Secret Room, I'm Nathan Capisser.
I'm Craig Lewis.
I'm David Stecco.
And I'm David Flora.
And next time you guys are out, maybe you're on a lonely stretch of road, it's dark out, you see something, you're not quite sure what it is, it's a little scary, just keep in mind, ain't nothing going on but the crane.
Oh, I was going to say shoot first.
It's coming right for us.
Trying to steal a little bit of your pun thunder there to close it out with.
Nice.
Or as I like to call it, punder.
Punder.
Nice.
You got to put in a punder sound.
Yeah, I will do that.
Right over those words you just spoke.
Well done.
Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy your week.
Thank you, too. Thank you, too.
Take care, guys.
Rock on, guys.
The whale sharks.
That's
It always
right.
comes back to the whale sharks. However did the whale and the shark get together anyway?
Yeah, their sweet, beautiful union with a whale. There was a mixture on a coral reef. You know, everyone had a little too much to drink.
You should let Tara Reid explain it to you.
Somebody was paxing around a box jellyfish, so everyone's right the fuck out of their minds. And all of a sudden, it's on
Wanna hit?
us up where we belong. And they don't even know what an eagle is, so they can't even sing the next fucking line of the song.